All right, fastest 15 minutes on the internet, fastest 15 minutes in social media. Welcome to the new decade. Happy new decade. Anyway, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I'm trying to push over 1,000 subscribers this year and just increase. Anyway, y'all know how y'all do in the church. Anyway, I want to talk about God. I want to talk about God. And I want to talk about theology. All right. So anyway, I guess the reason why I want to do this is because I want to start, this year I'm going to just start at the top. We're not even going to mess with stuff. And I want to bring up a few words. And the reason why I want to bring up these words is because like a lot of stuff that we talk about is basically, especially when it comes down to religion, is basically theory or theology. It's just theory. It's a theory that over time somebody had, and then they developed that theory into something, and it was, and it really doesn't matter. Okay. So now let me start at the beginning because I don't want y'all to, get tripped out. First of all, it is not, and this has nothing to do with being an atheist or anything like that. I am not an atheist. I believe that there are powers that are higher than me. I believe in the Most High and all of these things. Okay, I just may not believe in God in the same way that you do. I believe that God is on the inside of me and that God lives through me. In fact, God lives vicariously through you and through me. And and if you really investigate it and you study it, and you actually like live it out, you'll see that what I'm saying is more likely than not true. And so anyway, so now the word God or the theory of God is a Greek concept. It's not an African concept. So people who are descendants of Africans, you need to know. And that's the first thing that you need to know about your religion, especially if your religion has some type of deity that was created by these Greeks. And so all of these religions and everything, they were created by the Greeks in order to have power and control over not only themselves, but over other people and eventually over other races of people. And so that's why the whole concept of God was created. And then they made you worship, or they made you to understand their God as opposed to worshiping and understanding your God. So let me try to describe what the difference is. And the difference between the European Caucasian belief of God and the African belief of God. And this is where we get all this stuff about, y'all worship multiple gods, or you have all these different, or idolatry. Somebody hit me up today about idolatry. And I was like, so if I go through the Bible, I can show you like a thousand examples in the scriptures of idolatry. Idolatry, in fact, the father of Christianity, or I should say the father of the biblical God, or the one who created it, Abraham, since Abraham is the descendant of what? Idolaters. And where did they get that from? They got it from Africa. And so they tried to say, well, if you believe in this, but here's the difference. The difference is that in Africa, we did not believe in idols. We believed in nature or netters. And those netters, even no matter what you say, that's how come each deity, so to speak, and I don't even like to use that word, but each one of those deities that we saw, whether it be Ma'at, we see Ma'at with the wings of the bird, Anubis with the ominous, looking, who was the prince of the underworld, and all this kind of stuff with the funny looking face of an animal. And the reason why that was because it was talking about your nature. And so let's go back to Ma'at. I'd rather stick with Ma'at right now. And so basically all of and I'm going to start going through these, like, since it's the beginning of the decade, we're in the beginning of a new year, we're going to just go through Ma'at. And the thing about Mayat is Mayat basically is that nature, or the netters or the negative, and all of those things. They're not actually laws. And I did make a mistake, and I put law on my timeline, but it's not laws. They're not telling you that you have to do anything. They're telling you that these are the things that are in your nature, and these are the things that could cause you to go against, your nature. As above, so below. Know thyself, and to thine own self be true. And this is how you know yourself, because if you go through all of those negative confessions, at the end of the day, you will find out that those things are the things that you have the capability of doing. Not that you do, or not that you have a desire to do, or anything like that, but it's in your nature. Okay. And once again, I always go to the story of the tortoise taking the snake across the river, and the tortoise agrees to take the snake across the river, and he says, please, I'll take you across, as long as you don't bite me. Halfway across the river, the snake bites the tortoise. And he said, why did you bite me? He said, because in my nature, that's who and what I am. Okay, so you have to understand that these things in the 42 negative confessions of Mayat, these are the things that are in your nature. Okay, all of the later societal rules and laws and everything, every single one of them is based on this. So whether it be Hammurabi's Code, whether it be the 10 Commandments, whether it be the 613 biblical laws and commandments that are in the Quranic, or the type of law, all of these laws stem from what? Your nature. What is in the ability in your nature. So now, if we understand chakra energy, we understand that the root chakra, or the Kundalini energy, the basic energy, is our lower nature. And we also realize that the Christ energy is our crown chakra, or the chakra that's literally outside of our body, because after we get to a certain state of enlightenment, it has nothing to do with the physical. Once again, the two creations in the Bible, the physical creation and the spiritual creation. So they're two different things. So what we're trying to, and always we're somewhere in between, trying to get to the manifestation of our higher self. But if you never get to your higher self, okay, so this is where the Buddhist and Hindu philosophy comes in, that if you never reach your higher self, then you're reincarnated and you're sent back until you get another opportunity, the concept of nirvana. All right. So and all of these, and to me, I know everybody has their, and that's why I tell people to get out of religion, because all of this is an individual effort. It has nothing to do with, it's all on you. And there's nobody, and the other thing about Mayat, there's nobody there to punish you. There's nobody, what punishes you is karma. Karma is what punishes you. There's nothing there to punish you. There's no devil. There's no hell that you're going to go to, and all that kind of stuff. And even the concept of nirvana, you still would come back, as a higher, well, hopefully as a higher being. So the whole concept of punishment and heaven and hell and all that, those are things that are self-imposed. And those are things that when the Catholic Church created these things, they stole from the chakra energy, but they just gave them another name. So so Christ and the devil are you. And that's why we say, know thyself, and to thine own self be true. So that's why, just like certain people, they're just nice as they can be, and then certain people, they're just mean as they can be. All right, and that's up to you. Devil, if you want to be a devil, you can be a devil. That's how we get people that are in certain modes of evil. There are evil people, but then again, there are good people. So, and once again, we can go to what? The universal law of polarity. That there's an opposite to everything, and the opposite even exists within you. So what you're looking for is balance between your higher self and your lower self. So that's what you're looking for. And so that's the difference. That's the biggest difference between religion and spirituality. Spirituality, you're trying to go within. You're trying to find out what is within you that can bring you to that higher level. And so so to use the Christian church analogy or whatever, so they believe that that's what Jesus Christ was, okay? But it's not a person, it's you. It was never a person outside of you or a God outside of you. You are a God. You are a God, because what is a God? A God is a spirit. All right. And so I'm speaking not in the African terminology, but I'm speaking in the Greek terminology, and what that word meant. The word meant that you are a spirit. But in the Kemetic sense, or in the African sense, it was just talking about your nature, because your nature is spiritual, because your nature is innate within inside of you. You can't touch it, you can't see it. Think about it. So that's how they came up with netters, or your nature. So, or they looked at a certain, they would look at a bird and they would say, well, that is within human nature. Or they would look at a whatever, a dog or a cat or whatever it happened to be. And so each one of these deities was not a god. It was just showing a different aspect of you, another aspect of you. And it was up to you. Your mission is to balance all of your natures. So that's what it is. So if you actually start going through those 42 negative confessions, okay, I have not, defrauded my brother. I have not lied, or, what is it? I have not done wrong. I have made people laugh. There's all kinds. The negative confessions are there. So how do they stick to you? And where is it in your nature? So that is the essence. That is the essence of spirituality. And it's not saying, and the other thing about it is, it's not religion, because everybody is different. All right? Because where you are within your nature, or that's how come we have different personalities. And then the Kemetics broke it down even further into what? Into the fact that there are other things within nature, within the creation. So that's why I always say that the Bible is a book of astrotheology and astrology, because it breaks down. It says like certain types of people are compatible with other types of people, and it works not only on a spiritual level, but it also works on a physical level. Just like you notice, like certain people that have certain body types are attracted to each other. That's physical. That has nothing to do with your spirit. But then there are certain people who are attracted to one another spiritually. And once again, what is it? It's or vibrationally. So it is the law of that's what the law of attraction is. It's like and so there's certain people that are attracted to certain people. Just like you'll meet somebody, you may not know them, right? But you either have a spiritual or a physical attraction. And so, but since most religions don't teach you that, that's why there's so much divorce. That's why there's so many messed up people and everything, or people that are in wrong relationships, or our new code word are in toxic relationships, because they don't understand that, hey, you may be physically attracted to the person because of phenomes and body types and all that kind of stuff, but you're not spiritually compatible. And a lot of times it's more important. In fact, I would say probably 90% of the time it's more important to be what? To be spiritually attracted. Okay? So, and that's part of understanding what your higher nature is. So once because everybody is got the Kundalini. So the Kundalini is just like, I just want to get it. But the spiritual is saying, hold up, is this person, does this person have this XYZ? And some people get it and some people don't. Anyway, Fast 15 Minutes on the internet, Fast 15 Minutes on social media. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the share button. We're going to come back. We're going to do it every day. Love you.